will put Edgar Renteria on their ballot.
Well,
Not that he was a bad player, but I mean, I
yeah,
don't think he
I
was a Hall of Famer.
yeah, I don't really necessarily think I don't know. I haven't really looked at it, to be honest with you. Edgar Renteria was more of like an early. He was playing basically when I was like 7 or 8 or whatever, and I didn't really keep up with baseball that. I mean, I watched it,
Well, I
but
mean,
I didn't
I
really keep
watched him
up with
with
it
the
that much.
Braves, and I remember when he left. I mean, of course he was a good player, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's a Hall of Fame guy. Like, I haven't looked at his. I
no. But I
haven't
mean,
looked at
that's
his
what,
numbers.
and I don't think he is. I'm looking at his stats right. His 286 batting average, 343 on base percent. I mean, they're good numbers, but they're not Hall of Fame numbers. You know, he didn't hit a crap ton of home runs, and
Right.
I mean, I don't know. He had 140 home runs in his career. I just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think and I don't know what two guys voted him into the Hall of Fame, but
Yeah. I mean, there's just a lot. There's a lot of people who vote for these guys, and I don't know if they even know what they're doing. I don't know if they know what they're talking about. Um,
some of them don't. I can tell
Trevor,
you.
I think Trevor Hoffman should have got in. Trevor Hoffman was
Well,
one
he
of
will
the,
next year.
yeah, he will next year, and Vladimir Guerrero probably will next
Well,
year.
looking ahead, I think there's four guys that'll be in next year. They're pretty much guaranteed. And I think it's Trevor Hoffman, Vladimir Guerrero. I think Edgar Martinez does get in next year, and I think Chipper Jones a first ballot guy next year.
Yeah, I mean, Chipper Jones is definitely. I feel like he's definitely going to be in. Edgar Martinez, he's the guy who pretty much sentimented the designated hitter. Obviously, I am completely against the designated hitter. However, Edgar Martinez is until David Ortiz, and even still, Edgar Martinez might be the best designated hitter of all time. I
Yeah, I
don't know.
don't see how he doesn't. I still don't
That's
see
another
how he's been on
debate,
the
but
ballot for 8. He's been on the ballot for 8 years, hasn't gotten in yet. He hit 312 and hit 309 home runs in his career with 1,261 RBIs. That gets you in the Hall of Fame. And he also
right,
drew 1,283 walks.
right,
Get this. He had 7,213 plate appearances and drew 1,283 walks. Ivan Rodriguez, who got into the Hall of Fame and hit 296 and only had a 334 on base percentage, had 9,592 at-bats in his career and only drew 513 walks.
yeah. I mean, that's. I'm looking at it. Let's see. The stat that I really like to look at, and for the listeners who don't really keep up with baseball stats a lot, is OPS, which is on base plus slugging percentage, and basically it's your on base percentage plus your slugging percentage, which slugging percentage is total bases divided by, I think, at bats. So basically it factors in singles, doubles, triples, and homers, which is I feel like that's a good statistic. Vladimir Guerrero's OPS is 931. Ivan Rodriguez is 798.
But hold on now, let's be honest about it. Ivan Rodriguez didn't get in for hitting. He was a
I mean,
great hitting catcher, but he got in for catching. He's
yeah,
probably
but
one of the best
still,
catchers of all time.
I mean, he definitely is one of the best catchers of all time. I mean, he might be the best hitting catcher. Or
He's one of the rare guys
him
that
and
could
Mike
catch
Piazza.
and hit, though. You don't
To
find that
me,
often.
right, him and Mike Piazza are pretty much in their own company
Yeah,
on that
and
one.
Brian McCann will join them one day.
Yeah, and Yadier Molina probably will too. But I mean, I just don't see how people. I don't understand how people voted for Jeff Bagwell but not Vladimir Guerrero
Or Edgar Martinez.
or Edgar Martinez. But to me, I mean, Vladimir Guerrero. Like, if you told me,
There
I
should
mean,
have
I know.
been this year. There should have been 6 guys that got in my opinion.
Oh, I think. I mean, I'm looking at. Let's see, who I would have voted for: Jeff Bagwell, Tim Raines, Ivan Rodriguez, Trevor Hoffman, Vladimir Guerrero, Edgar Martinez, Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, Kurt Schilling, and probably Manny Ramirez.
Yeah, Manny will get in.
Yeah, I don't know
Look
if
at
Manny
his
gets in, but
OPS.
let's see. Manny Ramirez OPS is 996. He should get in for that.
I
I mean,
mean,
now they
really.
say, I mean, obviously people, I don't,
312 career batting average, 411 on base percentage. The only other
yeah,
person on here with a better one is Barry Bonds, and I disagree with you. I don't think him or Clemens should be him.
dude, why, all right, why do you think that they shouldn't be in?
They cheated.
All right, define cheating for me.
They took steroids and they admitted to it. Okay, I don't care if any
Okay,
of these other guys did. It wasn't as obvious as those two. Those two, you can tell that they took
so,
steroids, and you can go look at their stats and tell when they started taking steroids.
I mean, you're right. You're right. You can tell when they started taking steroids. A lot of people say Ivan Rodriguez was taking steroids.
I'm sure most of
However,
them
okay,
were all taking steroids at some point, but it just you can tell where it started helping Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds wasn't putting up just unreal home run numbers. And then all of a sudden,
he
here we go.
had he had
16,
one. He
25, 24, 19. All of a sudden, boom, we're at 33, 34, 46, 37, 33, 42, 40, 37, 34, 49,
nah,
73.
where he really started taking steroids is, I think it was
2000 to
19 no
2004.
it was actually 1998, I believe, or it was either 98 or not. I think it was 98 because the year before, whenever the year before he took steroids or whatever it was the year McGuire and Sammy Sosa had the home run race. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That everyone said they saved baseball with it. Well, like the year after that, Bonds got really jealous, um, thought he wanted some of that attention too, so he took steroids, and really all of his numbers are pretty. I would consider this pretty consistent. I mean, either in 1990 he hit 33, and hit over 20 home runs every year. Until like 2005, he didn't hit over 20 home runs, but still, I would still say, between 20 home runs and 50 home runs year to year, that's pretty consistent. With the one year that stands out to me is in 2001, he hit 73. 73 home runs, it sticks out more than
Here's the thing,
anything.
though.
He never,
Steroids don't
other
just
than,
help you. Steroids don't just help your strength. Steroids help your vision, the way that you're able to see the ball at the plate and all that. I mean, that that's also an advantage that taking steroids give you.
okay, let me ask you this while we're on this subject. Do you think that players should be banned from baseball for taking Adderall?
No,
Why not? It helps your thinking, it helps your vision.
there's just it doesn't help your. The steroids just
It
do
helps.
more. It
It's an
enhances everything
Adderall.
more.
Adderall is a performance enhancing drug. It is a PED. There are players in. Hank Aaron took PEDs. Willie Mays took PEDs. There are several other players who took PEDs who came out and said, I took PEDs, and literally everyone in that time frame, pretty much everybody in the 50s, 60s, 70s, took PEDs. I mean, that it was like a certain PED that pretty much everyone took. It's called Greenies, and basically what it was is it's kind of like Adderall. It's like an amphetamine. Like it's an amphetamine is what it is, like a liquid amphetamine. And these players, all these guys, took PEDs. They're and so in my opinion, they're no different than what Barry Bonds took and what Roger Clemens took. I mean, obviously,
Theirs is on
Barry
a different
Bonds used it
level.
to get.
Theirs is on a different level. Mark McGuire is on a different level. What
No,
he took.
Mark McGuire never used anything illegal. When Mark McGuire took whatever he was taking, when he took it, it was legal then. It didn't become illegal until like after they found out he was using it, and then they like banned it, and that was that. So what Mark McGuire was taking was completely legal. And also, if you look at Barry Bonds, all right, I'm going to say from what I read, it said that Barry Bonds started taking steroids in 1998, 1999. Let's see, I'll give you an exact. Said he started taking it in 1999. From 1986 to 1998, so basically the first 14 years of Barry Bonds' career, he won 3 MVPs, 8 Gold Gloves, hit .290, and had 411 home runs and 445 stolen bases. Nobody else has hit 400 home runs and stolen 400 bases in their entire career, and Barry Bonds did that in the first 14 years of his career when people say that he wasn't taking steroids. Do you think that somebody with 3 MVPs, 8 Golden Gloves, and 411 home runs and 445 stolen bases, should they get in the Hall of Fame?
I mean, yeah, that does get you in.
I mean, yes, that's what he did while not on steroids. Same with Roger Clemens. Roger Clemens, it says that they noticed a spike in his production after the last from year 13 to year 23, I guess that is. So the last 10 years, they said he took steroids. For the first 12 years, he won 1 MVP, which is super rare for a pitcher. There's only there was only about 2 handfuls of guys who have ever won an MVP and a Cy Young in the same year.
And not only that, that was also his 3rd year in the league.
Right. Roger Clemens, that was his only MVP and he got it without steroids. He won 3 Cy Young awards. Him and Sandy Koufax are the only 2 people in Major League history to have an MVP and 3 Cy Young awards. And Roger Clemens did that without steroids. I mean, to me, that's incredible. His whip, which I like to look at for pitchers, which is walks plus hits per inning pitched, his whip went down during the last time when they said he started using steroids. It didn't. All right, my bad. It went up because that's bad. Which, in my opinion, and his ERA went up too. So I think Clemens just did it to kind of extend his career. Let me ask you another thing.
Yeah, that's one thing that you can say is both of them, it helped their careers be longer. Bonds played 22 years. Clemens played 24 years. And how often do you see that?
Right. And Bonds won just an incredible – let's see how many Silver Sluggers he's got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 before he started taking steroids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 after he took steroids. And he won MVP 3 times, including back-to-back years in 92 and 93. So, I mean, it's not just like Barry Bonds all of a sudden got good after he took steroids. He was good before he took steroids. It's just after he took steroids, he was really good. And I personally, why do you vote people into the Hall of Fame? Because they're the best baseball players ever. And Barry Bonds is one of the best baseball players ever. Roger Clemens might be top 5 pitchers of all time. He's extremely good. What do you think about spitballs? Do you think that people that use spitballs should be banned from baseball?
I mean, I don't really understand what makes a spitball illegal.
You're putting a substance on the baseball. Do you think people should be able to put people should put substances and scuff baseballs? Do you think that should be legal?
I think that from listening to some of the people that play, these guys that put pine tar on the ball and stuff, it doesn't. I mean, to me, it doesn't make that big of a difference. But that's a substance.
I mean, it is a substance, but I mean, that's, to me, pine tar. I mean, me and you were both pitchers in college. I never used pine tar. I don't really see. I mean, I guess it does help you get a good grip, but from my understanding,
just helps the grip. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's just for good grip. However, a spitball makes it move more. When you scuff a baseball up, it makes it move more. I mean, Roger Clemens, which I know that you still think that he shouldn't be in because of steroids, but Roger Clemens, the last 2 or 3 years of his career, he was going downhill, and then he decided to start throwing a spitball, and it literally he extended his career by 3 seasons because he started throwing a spitball. And then there are, I mean, I don't know for a fact, but I would be willing to guess that a lot of major league pitchers have some kind of substance that they use